Do you want to door knock and have success the way I do door knocking? Stay tuned. Door knocking. So door knocking does work. However, I'm going to tell you guys what I do. My script, you take it, do your thing, boom, magnify, amplify it, big it talk. Okay, that's the Jamaican in me coming out. Okay, if you ever door knock, just leave a comment below letting me know yes, no, or maybe so. Maybe you were on your way to do it and you were like, never mind. To do before you go door knocking is you need to do your research. I already did a video on you need to pick a niche, okay? Whatever area of real estate you're gonna focus in, because you have to cater your marketing to your niche, okay? I will link the video below that I did on choosing a real estate niche. Now, for those of you that don't know, my niche is pre-foreclosure. So I'm gonna show you an example of what I do when I go to door knock pre-foreclosure listings. Now, number one, let's talk about, before we even go to get to people's house and start knocking on doors, how do we show up, okay? Now, I do pre-foreclosures, okay? When I go to door knock pre-foreclosures, I do not dress up like in a suit or look like too professional, because pre-foreclosures, they are already scared to death of people knocking on their door because they think it's someone coming to maybe throw them out the house. So I don't want to show up all dressed to, you know, all GQ'd out and I look like a lawyer or something, right? So I dress casual. The best way I would describe it, I dress like I'm just a friend coming over. So I don't wear like jeans and stuff, but I wear like slacks, a nice pretty blouse. Like I just look like a girlfriend that's coming over, okay? Now, so if your niche, say your niche is like luxury houses and things like that, you cannot show up not looking GQ, okay? You have to look like you actually sell luxury houses, okay? So that's why you have to pick a niche, because so many things that you do depend on the actual group of people that you're marketing to. You have to cater to and attract the attention of the people that you're marketing to, okay? You're gonna notice with my script that it's very conversational. If you also go back and look at my previous video that I just did on cold calling, it's very conversational. And I do the same thing when I go to door knock. It's very conversational. Now, again, because I do pre-foreclosures, when I go door knocking, I'm not as like high energy as my regular personality is, because these are people, they're most likely in a really, something terrible is going on, which is why they ended up in pre-foreclosure. So I'm either going to encounter, so history has shown when I go door knocking pre-foreclosures, I'm either going to encounter someone that's really sad or someone that's just angry, okay? Because whatever is going on in your life, that's how it's impacting them, okay? So prepare for that, okay? And then in some niches, you know, some people are just, they're just in a bamboo anyway. Number one, I did the previous video as well. I'm linking all this stuff together, saying in the Go Giver book, he talks about give, give, give. So always have some type of value that you're going to give people when you knock on the door, okay? Besides just, hi, hello, I'm in the neighborhood, okay? So what I do is I print out their auction information, because for some of mine, honestly, when I get there, people have not either opened the mail or they haven't received a notice yet of their foreclosure sale. So sometimes when I get there, I'm actually the first person to tell them that their house is scheduled for an auction, okay? If you're not doing pre-foreclosures, you can, the best thing is to bring maybe a market report, or if you've done a current listing in the neighborhood, you can bring that. but you should also, whatever your niche is, know the statistics and things on your niche so that you could just quote that off the top of your head. Who are you going to? Are you going to a neighborhood, a particular subdivision? For me, all of my houses are not going to be in the same subdivision, so I can't just park somewhere and then walk to all the pre-foreclosures because they're not like back to back to back next to each other. So what I do, all the addresses that I have that I plan to go to, I put them in. It's an app called Road Trippers. I think that's it. I'll link it below. And I put in all the addresses and it tells me the best route to go to get, you know, to all the houses in the least amount of time. Okay. So that's what I do. So I have that. I have my auction letters. I have my directions together in Road Trip, and I hit the road. I get to the house. I knock on the door. I ring the bell. Somebody opens up the door. They'll say, "Hi, my name is Neva Williamson. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. I was stopping by because I saw your house on the auction list for sale. So I specialize in helping people stop foreclosures, and we look to help you find another solution. So I just wanted to really stop by real quick and just provide you some information and let you know that you do have options as long as you act before the auction sale." I had one where I pulled the list, went to the house, rung the bell. The mom was home. The house was in the husband's name, okay? So usually what I'll do, I'll ask for whoever the house is in, and you can look that up in the tax record. So in this situation, he was not home. So the wife said to me, "No, he's not here at this time." So I told her the script, and I always bring like a letter, has the auction date, my name, and things like that. So I gave her the letter. For me, I put the letter in an envelope. So I give her the envelope. It's just a blank envelope, and I gave it to her, and I left. Couple days later, I get a call from her, and she's like, "Oh, I need your help." Okay, she said, "I need your help. My husband is in the hospital, so that's why he has not been able to call you back." She said, "I gave him the letter. I brought the letter to the hospital. He told me I need to reach out to you to call you to get your help to stop the auction." Okay, so they ended up being a client of mine. So long story short, what happened with them is I was able to help them stop the auction. And then unfortunately, the husband was really sick and he passed away. But I was still able, actually, I ended up still helping the wife because she decided she just wanted to move and start all over. So I helped her buy a brand new house to move her and her kids in. Try not to ask like yes or no questions. The biggest thing I noticed that people say door knocking does not work is because people will say, "Oh, I went door knocking, I didn't get a deal." Here's the thing. Door knocking is, your goal is to get a lead and to get additional information, to get your face known in this neighborhood. For me, to get my face known in this sphere of people that are in pre-foreclosure. What I would say is that the goal is not to get a deal, because even in pre-foreclosures, there are other things besides just selling the property that's a solution. They can get a loan modification, they can file bankruptcy, just a lot of options, right? So I'm just really trying to make a connection. So after you go door knocking, if you go door knocking, you know, 40, 50, 60 houses, your goal, what you should look at afterwards is, how much contact information did you collect? Like, you know, email addresses, phone numbers, things like that, people you were able to talk to, because now you can follow up with those people. So the goal is not that someone is thinking of selling their house within the next week and you're trying to contact that person, because chances of that happening are so slim to none. You know, most people may be thinking of selling, you know, maybe a year, you know, 2, 3, 4 years from now. So you're just trying to build a list and to get contact information, okay? So that's why a lot of people will say door knocking doesn't work. It does work, okay? It does work, but your goal is not that you're always gonna get a deal right off the bat. People may call you next week, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 months later, but you follow up with them. If you get an email, I try to do a video and now everybody wants to call me. If people respond in a negative way or angry way and say they do not want my help, I just respond by saying, I totally understand. I'm just gonna leave my contact information. If even you just have a question on or anything that may come up, you know, feel free to reach out to me. This is my I'll say, hey, this is my cell phone number on my card. Sometimes I'll say I have a booklet that is like 10 ways to stop foreclosure in Virginia. I'll say, hey, I'll just leave this booklet with you just to let you know that you do have options. And just in case, like I said, anything may come up and you have a question, feel free to reach out to me. So like I said, there's so much going on when you get to someone's house. They could be in a good mood, a bad mood, they're having dinner. That is just to get the contact. Now, to get the email address, try not to ask like a yes or no. Can I have your email address? Can I have your phone number? Because people are just going to say no. What I say is, hey, I can send you what I'll say is I can provide you and let you know what are the different options that you can pursue to stop the foreclosure. And people are usually interested in that. And then I'll say, what is the preferred method that you would like me to send it to you? So then I'll say, hey, I can email it to you. Hey, I can come back and drop it by again. You know, which would you prefer? So a lot of times people will say, oh, email it to me. If now you're thinking, hey, this is pretty easy, I can do this. Hey, just type boss, B-O-S-S, type boss in the comments and let me know. Okay, so I will see you all next video. Bye. A lot of times people get to their front door and their mindset is just whatever this person's going to offer me is, my answer is no. And I have done it. So the other day I was home and my doorbell rang. I looked out, I didn't know the guy. I was like, okay, this is someone selling something. So I was thinking to say no, but he caught me off guard because he says to me, he goes, oh, we're down the street right now treating your neighbor Tom for pests. And so we decided to come, to come down here and just knock on the doors and offer a discount to anyone that signs up because we're already here. So we figured, hey, we can offer you a discount to give you treatment. I was like, wait a minute. What kind of pests do they have over there? Because I don't want them over here, So I may need treatment now that I know they have pests, you know what I mean? Now, if he had came to me and said, just said his name and the company's been in business 50, 40 years, I would not have really cared. But when he said, oh, I'm treating your neighbor for pests, my first thing was, oh, you're treating, what kind of pests do they have down there is what I said, right? I said, what? What kind of pests they have? What are you treating for? Because I was like, if I don't have pests, but if my neighbors have pests, listen, I may need treatment because I don't want it to come over here. So that's what I mean in that, make it conversational and not so like sales pitchy. I mean, I'm not a good sales pitch person. Like if it's not to add value to someone or so, to start a conversation, I don't do well with really salesy pitch. So, I mean, do what is comfortable for you. If you are good with those pitches, there's so many, on the internet that are available. Use them and just memorize it. But I'm just telling you, for me, I don't feel comfortable doing them. So that's why I don't do them, because I feel like if I don't feel confident about what I'm saying, it's going to come off, and the whole vibe that I'm not confident is going to come off when they open the door and see who's going to want to work with someone that looks scared to death. So that's my tip. Go and door knock and have a good old time at it, right?